So my groovy girls, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to a brand new People's Diary. I am loving getting back into the swing of this. I had such a sick time away when I was in Bali. I feel like there's one more vlog left to watch. If you haven't seen it, then definitely go check it out. It will be uploaded by the time this one is. And I just had the best time. So I'm happy to be home. I know I'm not tan, okay? It rained while I was there, but I still had the best time. In today's People's Diary, we are also doing makeup yet again. So thank you so much for sticking around. Obviously, all of the products that I use will be in the description because we don't want to take anything away from the confessions or the people confessing them. If you have anything to confess, definitely click the link in the description and confess your sins. I love reading them on here. It makes me realise my life isn't that bad. And I feel all of the audience feel the same. So thank you for doing us a service. Thank you for serving for your country. Anyway, let's get into the full swing of things and get ready together. Girlies, as I said before, everything I use will be in the description. We are not taking any attention away from these confessions. Okay, let's dive straight in. So my boyfriend and I work together, but we are keeping our relationship a secret. I wonder why. Oh, we met at work. That makes sense. And started dating almost a year ago and were initially at the same level job. A few months ago, he got promoted, so we don't want our boss to find out about our relationship. However, our boss has been suspicious and has been asking everyone about us behind our back. Sometimes it's hard to work together, but overall it's like a fun little game. We're trying and failing to hide our love for each other from our colleagues. Oh, I mean, it's kind of cute. It really depends what job, because I don't think this is a situation where it's like abuse of power. As you said, you were both on the same level job. I thought relationships in the workplace were only a problem if it's an abuse of power. But then again, it depends on the job, as I said, because like I feel like when I worked at Urban Outfitters, everyone dated each other. But if you work in like a finance corporate job, that's when it's a problem, I'm sure. But happy for you, Pooks. I think that's kind of cute. I was supposed to dye my eyebrows and I forgot, so we're just gonna work with product today. Bane of my life, bane of my life. So basically, when I worked at my first job, a lot to do with jobs today. I like this boy, but I didn't tell him that. And then when I quit, I didn't see him until randomly one day, me and my best friend were on a night out and he was in the same pub as me and we ended up speaking for a bit. Okay, I like where this is going. Fast forward to August of last year, he randomly came up on my Hinge and we got talking from there. Love a bit of dating apps. At this point, I still hadn't told him that I had or still had a crush on him. And then got friend zoned, which I didn't realise at the time, but looking back, how could I have been such an idiot? One day when I was at work, he asked me for my best friend's Snapchat and in the moment I was like, yeah, but then it hit me and my heart sank. Oh, my angel, how did you not see that? I feel like that's like typical, right? Oh my girl. I immediately got on the phone with my best friend to explain the situation and she was really kind, bless her, and said that she wouldn't do anything until I was completely comfortable with it, which I wasn't for a good while, and then I felt so bad about it. Eventually I said to her that they could go on a date and see what happens. Turns out he was a weirdo anyway. One example of this being that he had a board with all the ways that he was going to ask my best friend to be his girlfriend before they'd even met in person. We can both laugh about it now, but at the time it was fucking weird. So the fact that you said you met at work means that this guy's over 18. That is a little bit strange, I'm not gonna lie. Some would see it as cute though. It really just depends on your preference. But the fact it's before you even met, and maybe he is just a little bit weird. I had an abortion whilst at uni and I told no one. It was so awful that I could barely walk. I am literally so sorry that happened to you because I know how much strength that takes to go through, and I just, oh, I can't fathom it. Like, I just feel so sorry for you that you were put in that situation. I am so proud of you though for making that decision. You are so strong for that. To have to go through as well alone as a woman is just crazy. The stuff that we have to deal with as women is just diabolical. I will have no slander in my comments about this either. If you disagree with this decision, just get off my page. We're pro-choice here, babies. I know that's a little controversial, but unsubscribe. I don't care. It was awful and I could barely walk, but because my housemates didn't know and I was in so much pain, I had to use my bin as a toilet and then I would go and wash it out as they slept. Oh my god. The bad thing is though, even after I was feeling better, for about 2-3 weeks, I was still using the bin to pee in as it was kind of addictive. Oh dear. But don't worry, I'm back to the loo now. Hee hee. Aw, I feel really proud that you can like open up to me like this and that you trust me enough. I mean, obviously you know I was going to share it with the internet, but it's anonymous, so I'm like really proud of you for getting this off your chest. P.S. Your videos make my week. You're a beautiful person inside and out, and your Instagram and realness has helped me massively with my body image issues. Aww. So thank you so much. Lots of love, gorgeous. Mwah. Lots of love to you too. That is so sweet. What a lovely way to end that. Well, I hope you're feeling better. I hope all of your symptoms have subsided. I hope you don't deep it too much either. And I hope that your mental health can just like go back to normal now. That's one unspoken thing about abortions, is just how much it wrecks you mentally. But also physically, it does so much damage to your body. I'm really glad that you're out of that now. These lashes need to come off my face, but I just can't get them out, so we're riding with it, okay? I f***ed my ex's best mate after the breakup and no one knew. I don't condone that unless he was a prick, but then even so, I don't think I could do that myself. I'd just feel too bad. And believe me, the amount that my ex cheated on me, I probably should have done the same, but I just don't think I have it within me. I touched myself to a picture of my teacher. It's one that I took off the board and I zoomed in on him. Don't worry, I'm 18 plus. I feel like that's really inappropriate because this person doesn't know that you're doing that over them. That's like really messed up. This is something I don't condone. I'm really starting to dislike my childhood best friend. Being there, girl. We've been best friends for around 20 years, but we are completely different people now. She has a lot of growing up to do, and I try my best to guide her and support her with each challenge, but it's becoming frustrating and she still doesn't make the best choices. The fact that you've known her for about 20 years, but you're also childhood best friends, kind of tells me that she's probably like mid-20s, late 20s. And by that point, I feel like that's when you need to stop making dumb decisions, right? Especially if it affects a friendship. I know she needs to learn from her own mistakes, but she won't take any responsibility for the things that she's done so that she can learn. Oh, these ones are so tricky, and I feel like I actually had a falling out with my childhood best friends, and I literally don't talk to any of them bar, I'd say one to this day, and it was really, really sad. Like, I actually think that friendship breakup was more damning to my mental health than any other kind of breakup I've ever had, and that is saying something, okay? Like, the complete betrayal just absolutely broke me, and I don't think I'll ever wrap my head around it. Obviously, we've spoke since and stuff, and a few of them have apologized to me about the situation and said, like, we're sorry, we just got caught up in things and we were kind of just following the leader, if that makes sense. Like, as soon as one person says something, the rest of the group kind of is like, yeah, I agree, yeah, retweet that, you know? And it kind of just got a bit piley-uppy, a bit of bullying, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I felt bullied that day, and it was on my birthday too. Like, it was just really shitty. But in my head, I was going through something much bigger, which now they know about, and I feel like a few of them had their inklings as well. They definitely got the gist of what I was going through at the time, aka being in an abusive relationship, because when I came out about it to them, they were like, yeah, we know. And I was like, if you knew, why did you do what you did? And why did you leave me? Why did you leave me in the dark? Like, it was so weird. So I completely get you. And as I said, to this day, I don't really speak to them. I probably ebb and flow between them. Obviously, I still wish them well. I wouldn't ever wish anything bad on them, but I will never be as close with them as I once was, and that is really sad to say because we were like super close, and I did stay friends with them for quite a long time after school as well. Even when I moved away from home, we still kept in contact, we'd come visit each other. So I feel you on this, but as I said, I don't speak to them anymore, and I feel like we put so much pressure on school friendships, high school friendships, teenage friendships to be like our strongest friendships, when no, the friends that I've met throughout my teenage years going into adulthood, from my job, not even from school, but from my job, they're actually some of the strongest friendships that I have. And I feel like we need to get rid of this stigma of like, I can never lose my childhood best friend. You can. If they're a piece of shit, you can. And let's normalize this, okay? A lot of things to normalize in today's episode. I'm 21 and I'm seeing a 54-year-old, both female. Okay. I know you're old enough to make your own decisions, but like, taking away the both female thing, if everyone looked at this from a heterosexual relationship, everyone would have a problem with it, but I feel like because it's a lesbian relationship, everyone's like, slay, go get your cougar, and I still don't really agree with it. Like, my parents are around about that age, and that makes me feel really weird that, like, my mum is heterosexual and happily married, but like, if she came to me and said, I'm dating a 21-year-old, I'd be like, fuck, ew, that's younger than me, that makes me feel sick. You have said it feels so wrong but so right at the same time. I'm hiding it from everyone, but it is getting difficult. Do I call it quits to save the judgment, or do I see where it ends up? I mean, the fact that you're 21, like, you still have so much living to do, and in the nicest way possible, your partner has already lived their full life. I say full life, they've still got their old age years to go, but like, I don't know, because I think when you reach a certain age, like maybe 30, it's not that much of a big deal if you date someone older, because I feel like you've gone through very similar phases of life. Obviously, Sarah Paulson, she dates an older woman, and she is not an older woman herself, but you know, she's an adult, whereas you are 21. If you lived in America, you've only just been allowed to start drinking. The fact that you're dating someone who's 54 just screams a little bit weird. If I saw you guys out together, I would probably think it's a mother and her daughter in the nicest way possible. But then again, that is just my opinion, and A lot of people say in love you shouldn't judge, so I'm really curious to see what you guys think about that. Be respectful though, because remember, this is people's feelings we're talking about. Supernatural today we are going for. My boyfriend got me pregnant and then left me and started dating my mum, who then got pregnant, and she doesn't know that I'm pregnant from the same guy. What would that make your daughter and her daughter? They'd technically be sisters because it's the same dad, but they'd be sisters, but then you'd have a half sister. Oh, I don't think I like that situation very much. That is really shitty from both your mum and your ex though. I wouldn't speak to either of them. What a seedy guy. I slept with this lad on and off. We were friends of benefits, and then my gran passed away 4 years ago, and nobody had slept in her bed since she passed away. I actually know where this is going, and I just don't want to read it. I don't want to read it. I don't want to read it. The disrespect. Nobody had slept in her bed since she passed away. We then shagged in her bed. It's not funny. It's really not funny. It's gross. And then on her 4-year anniversary of passing away, we slept together, and he asked to just be friends with me an hour later, when he knew that that day was insanely tough on me, and it has f***ed with me ever since. My mental health is so bad right now. So not only did you sleep with someone in your nan's bed, not only did that person then leave you, this person didn't even mean... He obviously knew his intentions, because an hour later he broke up with you. I say broke up, you were friends benefits, but you know, that shit still hurts. I found out my dad, who I cut contact with 8 years ago, doesn't pay for any child support, got engaged to a random woman, started dating a new woman at the same time, and I saw the photos of them two in Australia. And then to this day continuously posts about me on his social media about my trauma as a child. Narcissistic parent. A lot to unpack. He got engaged to a random woman and then started dating a new woman at the same time. What? Does the other woman know? I'd love to know. Like, not only did he leave you, but he's also blasting it all online. It's giving child, and it's giving you're more mature than him. I fell in love with my boss at work. I used the term boss lightly because he was a team leader, but our management went to shit, so he had to take more responsibility over us than he should have. Retweet. We love a man that takes charge. When I started working there, I actually had a boyfriend. Ooh. Things were a bit rocky, and we would argue every day about the most pointless things that just felt so unnecessary. And when I asked him to go on a break to give each other some space, he was reluctant, but then agreed, only to proceed to call me 5 times in 10 minutes while I was on holiday to ask when we could talk again. Oh my goodness, but that doesn't sound like a break, does it? I don't think someone quite understood the itinerary there, did they? He was also a bit funny about what I could post on Instagram. Sorry, could. What you would. There will be no could, if, buts, or maybes. You do what you want to do. Thinking you're... Thinker. What I could wear to certain places. For example, no joggers if it was a nice coffee shop, even though that was the most comfy outfit. I got back from holiday, and after we tried to make it work for a few days, I realised that I still wasn't happy, and for the first time I decided to actually prioritise my own happiness, and we broke up. Proud of you. I don't think he was a bad guy. Control him though. I just don't think we were meant to be, and that it wasn't working. About 3 weeks later, I got really close with my workmate. Most of them are older than me. I'm 19. A fair few of them are in their early 20s, but that never bothered me. And a lot of my mates are around that age. I think having sisters 15 years older than me naturally pushed me to get on with people a few years more older than me. Completely makes sense. Lol. Anyway, we hung out a few times, went to the pub, and just went out for drives and got to know each other, and I generally feel like I've fallen for this guy. Oh yeah, the guy from work. I've never felt so at ease with someone and so comfortable in my own skin. That is what we love to see. Where previously I felt like I had to try and change things about myself to be what other people wanted, but with him it is so different. Oh, I'm loving this. I'm not putting any pressure on it to be anything, more just seeing how it goes. Do you think I've moved on too quickly? And is me being 19 and him 23 a massive issue? Love the series, and I'm so glad it's back. Love you my girl. Normally I would say it's not really that much of a big issue, because realistically a 4-year age gap really isn't that bad. However, I have been in a relationship when I was 19 and the person I was dating was 23. It just kind of got between us a little bit. Like whenever we'd argue, he'd always turn around and be like, oh, you're really showing your age, or you're so immature, stuff like that, and it really got to me in the end. I guess in the same respect, me and my boyfriend now, there's 2 years difference. He's 22, I'm 24. Yes, I am. My birthday hasn't been yet. I'm 25 this year. So that's nearly 3 years. I don't ever bring his age into our relationship. Like I never say to him like, oh, you're acting too young, or maybe you're too young for this, or blah blah blah. Like never. So I guess it does depend on the person, but as you said, you feel at ease, everything seems to be going right, so fingers crossed it stays that way. I also don't think you've rushed into it too quickly either, because I feel like you probably checked out of your last relationship way before you even thought you did. I did that. I'm just gonna go off camera and let this hair down and do the finishing touches, and I'll be back with you. So this is the finished look. I hope you guys really enjoyed today's days for you. I am loving doing my makeup at the same time as reading the people's diary because I feel like I'm just on FaceTime or something and it feels so nice to just pass the time that way. The hair actually turned out really cute in the end. I'm really proud of it. It was a little bit damp when I went to sleep last night, you know. It's just not fully how you want your hair to be before you style it. And it felt like I didn't wash my shampoo out properly either, so I'm quite shocked it turned out this way. I feel like at the back it's definitely more frizzy. Yeah, well, we don't see that. I know you see it in the mirror, but you don't really see that. But yeah, thank you so much for watching yet another people's diary. Make sure you're following me on TikTok because I do post some short form content over there as well. If you guys want to confess your sins, you know where to confess them to. Of course, it's the people's diary. Where else would it be? Thank you for putting your trust in me. Thank you for opening up to me every single time without fail. Thank you for trusting mommy. Ew, that was so gross, I hated that. But aside from that, make sure you follow me also on Instagram, subscribe so you don't miss anything, turn on that little bell, leave a comment about some things that we spoke about today because I'm really intrigued on all of your opinions. And then I will see you in the next episode.